Today is a very auspicious day. In Slovenia, Mahadvadashi. It is even more powerful than Ekadashi, so we have to observe it very carefully. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. It is like a mother of devotion, these special days. If you will observe, then you will get devotion. And the next line, this next verse, he's saying, Gaura Amar Je Savasthanes, Koralo Brahmana Range, Se Savasthana Heri Boyame Pranai Bhakata Sange. This is what we are doing by book. Gaura Amar Se Savasthan, Koralo Brahmana. All the holy places of my Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I will wander there. I will see all those places in association with loving devotees. Gaura Amar Je Savasthane Koralo Brahmana Range. I will happily I will wander to those places. Se Savasthana Heri Boyami. I will see all those places. Pranai Bhakata Sangha, in association with loving devotees. So we are continuing our Parikrama. Yesterday we heard how Markandeya Rishi got instructions from Surabhi and worshipped the Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and he asked, what will happen with my aprarabdha and prarabdha karma? Then she said, everything will be destroyed by worshipping Gauranga, and you will get eternal devotion to him. So, chapter 9. All glories to Sri Gaurachandra, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Gadadhar Pandit, all glories to Srivas Pandit and the other devotees. All glories to the residence of the devotees, the topmost, Sri Navadwip Dham. The next morning, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu proceeded onwards, intoxicated by singing Sri Gaura's names. The devotees walking with him were also drowning in prema and were thus distributing supreme bliss. When they arrived in Navadwip, Sriman Nityananda Prabhu smiled and said, this is the village of Majida. Here the 7 sages, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulaha, Kratu, Pulaste and Vashishta, happily rested and worshipped Sri Gaurachandra. You will find their biographies in Gurudev's Puranik Charitavali. Our Mats Parikrama from Harihar Kshetra, that is the last place, we bow down to direction of Navadwip, but not physically going there, because nowadays nothing is to be seen there, and it will take more time, because in Harihar Kshetra usually it is already almost night, so then devotees they come back. In Satya Yuga, those sages heard Sri Gaura Hari's glories from their father Brahma. Hearing about Sri Gaura's glories, they became enchanted and begged Brahma to give them the eternal treasure of Gaur Prem. The four-headed Sri Brahma became pleased by hearing their appeal and said, all of you go to Navadwip Dham and sing the glories of Sri Gaura Hari. You will easily attain Prem. One who has gained the mercy of the Dham will attain the association of saintly personalities as a result. This is the point. By continuously performing bhajan in the association of sadhus, one will dive deep into Krishna Prema. To be engrossed in Prema is a matter of supreme joy. Supreme joy. When you get this type of joy, you cannot be interested in anything else. You will see everything, even the bliss of impersonal liberation will be like a hell for you, because no service of Krishna. One whose heart is attached to Sri Navadwip Dham will attain residence in Braja. To chant Sri Gaura Hari's name while staying in the transcendental holy abode of Sri Navadwip is the sadhu's only desire. The 7 sages thoroughly understood their father's instruction and came to this place. They chanted Hari's name, danced and loudly sang of the glories of Sri Gaura Hari, praying for the attainment of Prema. As they chanted, they began to pray, O Gaura Hari, please have mercy on us by finally giving us your darshan. Just once. We have followed many varieties of religious paths and thereby committed offenses, but now we have made bhakti the sole aim and object of our lives. In this way, the sages underwent austerities and worshipped Sri Gaura Hari with exclusive faith in bhakti. They completely gave up eating and sleeping and just chanted his name. One day at noon, the supremely compassionate Sri Gaura Hari appeared with the rest of the Panchatattva and gave his darshan to the sages. The Lord's divine body was glowing like 100 of suns shining together. This form of his attracted even the minds of the yogis. How astonishing was Sriman Mahaprabhu's beautiful golden form. Around his neck he wore a garland of forest flowers. The rays shining forth from his ornaments illuminated the 10 directions. Sriman Mahaprabhu's glance was most beautiful and his hair was long and curly. A spot of sandalwood pulp decorated his forehead. He wore a dhoti folded in 3 places, and his chest was beautifully adorned with the sacred thread. A garland of malika flowers dangled gracefully from his neck. They were all enchanted upon seeing Mahaprabhu's form and requested him thus, O Lord, we have now taken shelter at your lotus feet. Mercifully grant us the wealth of bhakti. Sri Gaura Hari heard their prayer and kindly replied, Please listen, O sages, abandon all other desires except one. Service to Sri Krishna. Throw off the shackles of jnana and karma and only cultivate devotion to Sri Krishna. Within a short time, I will unfold my pastimes in Nadia. At that time, all of you will be able to behold my pastimes of chanting the holy names of the Lord. For now, I order you, however, to keep all of these topics confidential. Go to Kumarhata and worship Sri Krishna at the ghats you have constructed. After Sri Gaura Hari disappeared from their vision, the 7 sages went to Sri Kumarhata. Look, even now these 7 beautiful hillocks stand as testimony to their worship. These 7 hillocks appear just like the constellation of the 7 sages in the sky. Just by living here, one can attain Sri Gaura Hari without even following any rules and regulations. Niyam, yam. Not the no vaidi, but niyam, yam of that Shastra for ethical life, because automatically that will happen. Niyam means like no stealing, no lying, that basic ethical principles. If one is tasting devotion to Krishna, then automatically he has no desire for this. O Jiva, the river you see flowing in the southern direction is the supremely sacred Gomati. Close by is Naimisharanya. In the Kali Yuga of the previous Kalpa, when the influence of Kali became excessive, Shaunak and other sages joyfully heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami, because in this kalpa they are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. But in previous kalpa, one day before, they were hearing Gaur Bhagavat. One day of Brahma before. All the miseries of that person who studies the Puranas in this place during the month of Kartik are vanquished. He becomes absorbed in Sri Gaura Hari's pastimes and easily attains Braja. Once Panchanan, that is Lord Shiva, came here with his devotees, riding on Lord Brahma's swan carrier, having given up his own carrier Nandi, the bull. He heard Sri Gaura Hari's pastimes recited just as they are described in the Puranas. The followers of Lord Shiva from Kashi surrounded Panchanan Shiva. They continuously sang Sri Gaura Hari's name, danced and showered flowers on Lord Shiva. Upon hearing these words of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Ashta Sattvic Bhav, means 8 ecstatical symptoms, arose in the heart of Sri Jiva, and he began rolling in the dust of that place. Relishing the influence of that holy place, he was not able to maintain his composure. The devotees spent the day here together with Sri Nitai Chand. The next day, they all proceeded onwards for darshan of Sri Pushkara. That person means Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in whose heart the worship of Sri Jannava Devi and Sri Nityananda Prabhu is always manifest, is singing of the glories of Sri Nadia and the sweetness of the devotees, being full of affection. One who is a realized soul, in whose heart these things are manifested, he can write such transcendental literature out of compassion for all conditioned souls. All glories to Sri Gaura Hari, along with Sri Nityananda Prabhu, next chapter, and Sri Advaita Acharya. All glories to Gadadhar Pandit, all glories to Srivas Pandit. All glories to Sri Navadwip Dham, the embodiment of pure Prema Bhakti. All glories to the names of Sri Gaur and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. O souls of Kali Yuga, please listen. Give up karma, gyan, dharma, adharma, everything. Dharma here means varna, ashram dharma. Adharma means sin. And only perform bhajan of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O brothers, the ocean of mercy, Sri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, seeing your endeavor, will freely, without doubt, bestow upon you the bliss of Braja. When the morning arrived, Sri Nityananda Prabhu took Sri Jiva with him and they continued their Dham Parikrama. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, O Jiva, look at this delightful village. Even though currently everyone calls it Brahmanapura, according to the scriptures, its name is Brahmana Pushkara. The secret of this place is most confidential. In Satya Yuga, a Brahmana named Divadas renounced his home and went on a pilgrimage to all holy places. Even though Pushkara Tirtha was very dear to him, while wandering one day he arrived in Sri Navadwip Dham. In this very place he had a dream one night in which someone told him, O Bipra, means Brahman, reside here and you will attain the eternal treasure, Krishna Prema. Divadas built a hut and stayed here until his old age. In his old age, when he could not walk anymore, a strong desire to behold Pushkara came in his mind. Being unable to move, the Brahmana began to lament, Alas, alas, now I will not be able to see the holy abode of Pushkara. Pushkara Raja, out of mercy, came before Divadas in the form of a Brahmana, holy place personified, this Pushkara Raja, but in the form of Brahman. The Brahmana said to Divadas, "Do not cry, but one time in the delightful pond in front of you, and Pushkara Tirtha will manifest directly before you." After hearing his words, Divadas bathed in that kunda, and he received transcendental eyes, by which he could behold Pushkara Tirtha. Divadas wept continuously. He said to Pushkara Tirtha, "For my sake you had to take such great trouble." Pushkara replied, "Listen, O fortunate Brahman, I have not come from afar. I always reside right here in this place. This Navadwip Dham consists of all holy places. All the holy places reside here to serve Sri Navadwip Dham. Although a manifestation of my form is in West, that is in Rajasthan, in India, I personally reside at this place eternally. The benefit one derives by bathing 100 times in the Pushkara Tirtha that is situated in the West is achieved by bathing here just once. Therefore, whoever leaves Sri Navadwip Dham with the desire to visit any other holy place is an extremely foolish villain. If someone attains the result of traveling to all other holy places, he attains residence in Sri Navadwip Dham. Just see that raised area which resembles a market. Kurukshetra and Brahmavarta are present here. The rivers Saraswati and Drishadvati flow on its two sides. They are beautiful and give the results of piety. O Bipra, I am revealing to you a very confidential topic. Soon, supreme happiness will manifest here. Sri Gaura Sundar will appear at Mayapur in the house of Mother Sachi, and he will freely distribute Krishna Prema amongst ordinary folk. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, intoxicated in Sankirtan Ras, will dance in all these places together with his devotees. Mahaprabhu will perform Sankirtan together with his associates from all of his avatars. The whole universe will be drowned in a flood of prema. All except those who indulge in false logic will receive this Mahaprema, that is worldly logic. If Supreme Lord has a form, then he is limited. If Supreme Lord has a form, he cannot be present everywhere. That is false logic. It is worldly logic. It has nothing to do with Achintya Shakti of Supreme Lord. He can do whatever he likes. He is beyond the comprehension of these worldly senses, and he is not limited by these things. So only one who is fortunate, who gathers enough Sukriti, then faith awakens, then from sadhus he will hear about Krishna, from realized sadhus. Then gradually he can realize. So this false logic is an obstacle. You will find Mayavadis, they are Buddhists, they have false logic, and Mayavadis, they are even worse because they are interpreting Shastra with false logic. That is why Vyasadeva, out of compassion, he explained the meaning of Shastra in Vedanta Sutra by giving proper logic, that which follows Shastra. If one is fortunate, then he will see the truth and he will truth in it and will practice, and then he will realize. So false logic is obstacle. O Divadas, so you will find Jiva Goswami on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wrote Satsandarbha 6 theses. There he is giving right logic and refuting false logic with all scriptural evidences. O Divadas, whoever resides with firm faith in this Dham will attain the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. A rogue will not be able to develop taste for Sri Harinam even if he worships Sri Krishna for millions of years. But if he worships Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his wicked mentality will quickly vanish, and very soon he will attain Sri Radha Krishna in Braja Dham. Here. Koti Koti Varshadash Krishnavan Tatapina Ratina Pai Durjan, rogue. That person will attain his spiritual form and the shelter of the maidens of Braja. He will receive the qualification to serve the divine couple in the forest bowers. Nijo Siddha Deho Pai Sokir Ashroy Nijo Kunjo Shri Jugala Seva Tar Hoy. O Bipra, stay here and perform bhajan, and you will attain darshan of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu with his associates. Saying this, Tirtharaj, Pushkara, departed, but the Brahmana heard an aerial voice. Very soon the blessed age of Kali is coming. O Bipra, at that time you will take birth and become immersed in the prema like rasa of Sri Gaura's Kirtan. Hearing this, Divadas, freed from all worries, stayed on the banks of this kunda, performing bhajan. This is what we have to do bhajan, because this world is not good with all these false egos, false interests, and all the time fighting. So we have to do bhajan and make this human life successful by getting Krishna Prem. That is the purpose. After narrating to Sri Jiva all these histories from the Puranas, Sri Nityananda Prabhu entered Uchahata, which is actually Kurukshetra. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, all the demigods came here along with Kurukshetra Tirtha. All the holy places that are in Brahmavarta and Kurukshetra came to reside here. Pritudak and all other holy places reside here and at ease serve Sri Navadwip Dham. The result one gets by residing in Kurukshetra for 100 years is obtained by staying here for only one night. Sri Nityananda Prabhu said, demigods came to reside here. They built a raised platform nearby and discussed with each other topics related to Sri Gaura. From that time on, this place became known as Hatadanga. Here, explanation. A market, that is, a place where the trade of hearing and speaking of Sri Gaur Katha always goes on. Shravan Kirtan, trade. A person, if you are very much into business, then do this business. You speak about Krishna or Gaura and hear about. In this way you have exchange. You sing the glories of Gaura and hear the glories of Gaura. And you will get much profit. A person who has darshan of this place will attain unlimited prem. This is also one of the boundaries of Sri Navadwip. Come, let us now cross the Bhagirathi. After crossing the Bhagirathi, Sri Nityananda Prabhu reached Koladwip around noon. It seemed like the sun had just risen there. While walking along the path of Kulia Pahara, Sri Nitai Chand said to Sri Jiva, "The sequence in which we are performing Parikrama by first crossing Ganga is the authentic sequence of Parikrama.